Hi, this is Zoe the Tantalising Stamper, and today I'm going to show you how to do a simple spotlight technique. So I've got some Memento ink for stamping an image. I've got my piece of white card which I've cut at 9.7 by 14 centimetres. That's just my personal choice. It's entirely up to you what size you want to do, but I'm going to mat and layer it, so I want it a little bit smaller. So I've got a stamp from the Simply Zinnias stamp set, which is an online exclusive stamp set, and I'm just inking it with Memento. I'm going to stamp there and then re-ink, and then I think I will bring it in about there. Okay, and then the next step is to choose your piece that you're going to spotlight. So I think I might do something like that. Okay, and I will die cut that, and I'm using this great set of dies, the Stylish Shapes. As you can see, they're well battered, so I use them a lot. And you get these pennants, you get some layering circles and then layering squares, and they also have a stitched edge, which they leave a stitch pattern around on the piece that you cut out of, as well as the piece that is cut. So they're a nice set to have that you can layer and do different things with. Although today I'm not going to layer, I'm just going to cut that out. So I'll just go and head to cut that. I've cut my piece out. I've got this square that I've cut from the middle, and I'm just going to pop that bit to one side so that I can then colour this with a selection of blends that I've pulled out. And I've got various ones here. I've got Poppy Parade, Daffodil Delight, Peach Pie, and Light Mossy Meadow, and dark and light Lemon Lime Twist. So I'll start with the Lemon Lime Twist, a little bit of, or in fact I'll start with the Mossy Meadow, just to add a little bit of darkness on the leaves. Now everybody's got their own way of doing colouring with the Stampin' Blends, but this is how I do it, and I'm doing it speedily today just so that I'm not keeping you having to look for hours and hours watching me colour. Then I've got the dark, yep. So I'm going to add a little bit more to this now. Just drag the colours around, and I've just realised I've not done a bit up there. That's done. Let that bit dry a little first before I come over here and add some of the Lemon Lime Twist. Blend the colours together. We can go back to that bit now. Do that. And if I bring in the light as well, just to finish it off and blend it down. This one as well. And then I'm not quite going to go to the end because I'm going to then use my colour lifter just to take a little bit of colour, so it looks like there's some light on there as well. Maybe bring a bit up here. I'm going to do the same here. Like that. Then we can put the greens away, and we can use these other colours to colour the flower. And these are zinnias, which are nice and bright and cheerful for the summer, so you can do any colours that you like. We'll use the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to do all these stameny bits here. Colour around there, these stamen stars, these little bits here. This flower is so detailed. It's beautiful, and really it's up to you how you colour it. You can put as much or as little as you want on. Don't forget this one. Make those little bits highlighted, and then just bring it all together with the light. over it all. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's such a pretty image that that's what steals the show. Then if we start with the dark, and I'm actually going to use light Poppy Parade and just bring in a little bit on all these. If you use the image to help you with colouring, it makes it much simpler. And if you're not an expert colourer like me, it certainly gives you a good guide. I think we might have a bit of yellow over there actually. Just colour that and we can highlight. We go in reverse with the dark after. There we go. Then move on to these other flowers. If you work your way round, perhaps not go all the way out with the red, just keep it in the mostly in the centre. We do this one as well. As you can see, I'm not doing it with any particular prowess. When you're making cards, if you're making a lot, you want an easy process. But actually, these pens just make it really easy to make it, wow, just little dots. And if we bring dark peach pie, we can start blending that colour and taking that and adding a bit more light and shade if we want to behind leaves and things. If you want it a bit finer, you might want to use the brush tip, but be gentle with them. They don't need a lot of pressure, which is probably why I've always been told I've got a touch of an elephant. So pitch and putt golf, you know, that sort of thing. I'm not very good at it. So this is quite nice because it just gives you that bit of opportunity to colour without worrying about mushing your tip because you've pushed too hard or whatever. And you can do little circular motions with the bullet end quite nicely to add and blend. Go around. It just helps you blend the colour a little bit more. These are bits that are sort of hidden underneath. You can make those darker. And do the same here. Get it all going. So recap on the colours, it's Daffodil Delight and Peach Pie and a couple of greens. So we've got Lemon Lime Twist and a bit of Mossy Meadow. We've got all of that. Then we come in with the light one. This time I will use the brush because I just want to add a little bit more colour, and then what you can do is use your colour lifter afterwards to drag the colour onto the lighter bits to make it even paler, so it gives a bit more impression of light and dark. The same here, perhaps add the colour up here, just very gently. I have to remind myself, like I say, touch of an elephant or click in otherwise. Just gently. And then I can try and drag this colour with the colour lifter just enough to keep the light and shade. And you can always go and add a little bit more afterwards, because the colour lifter, until it's dry, will keep doing its work. There we go. And this one. Bringing the orange and the red together to make an overall nice pretty colour. Do I want a little bit more? Maybe a little bit of dark, maybe, and then the colour lifter can work its magic. There, that's it, on those little bits that are a bit more shaded. Missed a bit of yellow there, just to finish that off. A bit there. There we go. Maybe a tad more there, there. Oh, I've gone too far now. Right, I have to take that bit off. And if you just rub a bit harder with your colour lifter, it will take colour off as well, obviously, as the name suggests. So we've got all the pens out of the way, and this is going to sit in here. And what I've done to lift it a little bit more is got myself a matte layer. Oops, I cut this piece too big. So having said I've cut it, I haven't. So I'm going to take a bit off each side. So you can even sort it out when you've made a bit of an error. So I take those. Those out of the way. That probably means I'm too long in the bottom as well, so I wanted 14, didn't I? Yeah, so I'll do that. Of course, you could just stick that on the front of your card, it wouldn't hurt. And then I've got this piece which I'm going to trim as well, just an A5, not A5, A6 piece of card. So I'm going to take that down to 10 to give me a white border around the edge by 14.3. Now you might measure yours a little bit differently, and that's absolutely fine. And of course you can mat and layer in inches as well if you're an inch person. So that will sit quite nicely on there. And then you could just pop that back in as a very simple spotlight that you've highlighted it, but to make it a little bit more interesting, I've got a piece of lemon lime twist card, and I've got my card base, so we can start to put it together, and it's really simple. So with a little bit of seal, I'm going to adhere this onto the front of my card. Okay, and sometimes your card might be a little bit longer. If you put the wider part at the bottom, it's a little bit like picture framing. It's sometimes a bit wider at the bottom, and it all adds to drawing the eye across your picture. So don't worry about that. And then this piece I'm going to add on using dimensionals, which I've put somewhere. Here we go. They're hiding in my box here. So if we put some of these, bring them in a little bit so it just lifts it. And then I'm actually going to put one on each side there just to support it. And then I've got my picker tool, and this is an extension kit for the picker tool, and it has this a narrower piercer, which if you want to do hole punching and threads through or anything, it doesn't make too big a hole. But this little hook is just perfect for lifting off the backings on these. It just gathers them and makes it easy. So if we pop that hopefully centrally on there, and then I'm going to stick this onto the back. Oh, and I've now run out, so let's go with a little bit of Tombow. What is it they say about the 5 P's? Prior planning prevents poor performance. And let's just make sure that that's going to go there. So if I stick that on there, and I will remember that I have excess glue now, so I'll let that dry, and then I can use my use an adhesive remover to take that off. So again, I'm going to put some sticky pads on this, just again one in each corner, but make sure you come in far enough so that they sit on that orange piece inside. Don't put them right in the corner and then you find that this half sticking on here. It won't look quite so effective. Let's take these off again. So this hop, or this video, I've done for the Totally Techniques blog hop, and there are several of us in the group, and everybody does their take on it. So if you make sure you visit my blog, stampingscene.blogspot.com, then you'll be able to go around the hop and see what everybody else has done, and get lots of ideas. And then we'll leave that like that. So you could leave it sentiment free if you wanted to, and then add it at some point, or you can either stamp a sentiment before you adhere it, I would advise, and that could go anywhere. I think I would fit it either a small one up here, or maybe here, or maybe across the top there. But you want to keep this spotlighted bit, as the name suggests, you know, it's the highlight of the show. So what I'm going to do is use one of these ephemera. These are all printed and die cut, or laser cut I should say, that you can keep for all sorts of sentiments. I just see this one's hiding, look, I can't remember what it says. I love you forever. I don't think that's quite right for this card. Maybe a here for you, or a thinking of you. It'd be a nice card to send to somebody. So, and that then I can pop here, or here maybe. I think there's probably best. Or you could even come down here and leave that as your spotlight again. I made another one earlier, and I've actually used paper hug, and I set my images in a little different place. So I think what we'll do is add this one. So I think actually if I put on the sticky pad, it will, or two, it should be okay. Hopefully there's not too much difference in height there. Take those off. And I think I will go in here with it. Just check it's straight, or you could make it slightly jaunty, but I think I prefer it straight with all these straight lines and straights here. And then on this one I also added a couple of little butterflies. These are the brushed brass butterflies, and they, as long as you peel off the glue, which I now haven't done, but let's use this, use the pointy end of this just to lift them. this time maybe we'll put the butterfly heading in there and a little one up here, or maybe 2 little ones. There we go. So that's the spotlight technique in a very easy, simple manner, except that one I think I've struck wonky. I hope you like it. It's nice if you've got some beautiful, clear, I should say outline stamps like this one. It's a great thing to do, and it's really easy. You can also do it with layering punches if you've got them, but you need to bear in mind how far you can get your punch in on your piece of card. But it certainly highlights the image and shows how beautiful they are, and it's quite nice to have this black and white effect as well. Of course, you could also stamp it in a different colour and colour this bit so that you've got this in a different colour, but just bear in mind what you then colour it with as to what ink you use to stamp it with. I've used Memento Black because that works really well with the alcohol markers that I've used. Okay, so don't forget the blog hop, go take a look, and I'd love you to subscribe to my channel as slowly I'm doing more videos. Thanks for supporting me and following, and do leave a like or a comment. Thank you. Bye-bye.